I'm assuming you don't believe that Santa Claus exists, correct?
Are you talking to me or her? No, no,
Yeah,
for me,
you.
obviously.
Yeah, you don't believe. But let us assume for a second you did believe that Santa Claus existed and none of the other women there did, and you said it's just my opinion. And so then I pulled up a bunch of maps and I showed you that
But
in the
that's
North
a
Pole.
fact.
Hang on, stop. That in the North Pole there is no elves and there is no Santa, and all the satellite imaging we have would show that if such a thing existed, everybody you would literally be eliminated because of the extreme cold, and that then I mathematically demonstrated for you that it would be impossible for one man to deliver toys all over the earth in the middle of the night, and that magic isn't real.
See what you're asking.
Hang on, could that change your opinion?
See, what you're asking is is not an opinion-based question like what Brian asked about, would you feel like you look better in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, etc. That is an opinion-based question. I can have the opinion that,
You
yes,
think
I
Santa
will
Claus
look better.
comes down your chimney at night? That's an
stop,
opinion-based
because I
question.
stop for you when you tell me to stop, so I'm going to tell you to stop now because I'm not done talking. Okay? So when I have an opinion...
You go, girl. You show me that sass. You tell him.
I'm not
you
trying to
tell
be
that mean
sassy.
man
I'm
on the
not trying to be
screen, girl.
sassy.
You go.
I'm not trying
Get in
to
there.
You're so good.
See, I'm not trying to be sassy. In no way am I trying to be rude to you. And anyway, I'm not laughing at your opinion. I'm not trying to be sassy in any sense, way, or form. I'm literally just talking to you, and you're telling me stop in the middle of my conversation. So yes, I'm going to do the same
no, I
to
was
you and
telling
tell you
you,
to
I was
pause
only
and let me
saying to
finish my
stop
thought
so I could-
because now
so I
you've
could ask the
derailed my
question,
train of
that's
thought. Okay.
Yeah, but it was my turn to speak. That's why I asked you to stop. Yeah.
And it was my turn to speak, and you started, so that's why I said stop, and then you called me sassy. But I didn't call you
sometimes
names
it's,
when you told
I
me to
didn't
stop.
call you sassy. You just
There
made
go
that up.
again. See? Okay. I think you just like to talk over women. I remember seeing a clip of you calling a woman a bitch on here, too, so don't even get me started. I would like to
Was she
finish my
being
thought
was she
real
being a
quick.
stupid bitch?
I don't care. I would like to...
You don't care? What is she being a stupid bitch? Do you think that women are incapable of being stupid bitches? Because, man, I got to tell you, the number one insult I hear from women about other women is this word, bitch. She's a bitch. That's the number one insult I hear.
Can I ask
Just
you a
saying.
question?
Can we have one at a time, even if it's Andrew talking?
Can I ask you a question?
Well, I'd like her to finish her exchange for rant. She's welcome
finish
to.
first.
No, I'm good. I'd rather not be talked over, so it's fine. It's fine. You can just... All I was trying to say was that he asked an opinion-based question, correct? So it's an opinion. What you said and your counter-argument was, do I believe in Santa Claus? If I believed in Santa... That's a fact. That's a factual question. Santa Claus does not exist. So there's no... That's not the same type of question. You're asking a factual question rather than an opinion-based question. And
Yeah, but isn't your
and I
opinion
want
a
to
fact to you?
apologize if I came off sassy by telling you to stop, but I simply did the exact same thing that you did to me.
You were
That was
just
all.
But don't you think when you're
Well, he told
talking
me to
about an
stop
opinion, when you're saying, okay, such and such opinion, don't you think that an opinion that you hold is a fact to you? This is factual to you.
There's a
So you're
difference
saying,
between a fact and an opinion.
oh, really? What's the difference?
You can have an opinion about anything
A
and it not be
personal
a
opinion.
personal
Right.
opinion. And you're asking
Sure.
a personal opinion-based question whether you think you look better at so-and-so age, and that is up to the person that thinks whatever they want to think, whether it's they look better younger, older, whatever. I'm not agreeing that I don't think I would look better in 10 years, 20 years, but I'm not going to discredit her opinion, and it's not the same as asking if Santa Claus exists. So
What if your opinion was that Santa Claus existed? Wouldn't that be a fact to you?
that's not a fact, though. In
Yeah,
reality,
I'm not
Santa
saying that
Claus
it's
doesn't
true.
exist.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm asking if it would be a fact
It's a
to
belief,
you.
not an opinion.
He's saying that it's a fact that when you have more wrinkles, you
Does
don't.
anyone else understand the
I do,
argument that
yeah.
I'm giving
But
right
yeah,
now?
no,
No, I
100%.
Yes,
totally
in fact, I'll steal
am
in your
I
argument.
coming off like
You're
a
saying
dumb
that-
bitch?
you're
Am I
saying
coming
that-
off
No,
like
he's
that?
trying to.
Because I
he's
swear to
trying
God.
to argue with you that it's the same thing because to him it's a fact that when you have more wrinkles you're less attractive. When
Oh,
her
okay.
thing, she's saying it's a fact to her that having more wrinkles to you, or not,
And
not
both-
more wrinkles,
both are
but
in
not
fact-
being more mature.
Both are actually
is more
not facts, they're
attractive.
opinions.
Yeah, I know, but we can argue that all day whether
Where
it's a
Santa
fact
Claus
or-
exists.
I want to ask you a question because I have genuine curiosity. So when you ask those questions and when you argue your point, you have a certain outlook on women over that have certain opinions, right? Because like to you, what does this question mean? Like, what are you trying to change perception of those women that you have an opinion of? I'm trying to phrase it. Right.
So for me, I don't really ask the ratings question much. I just engage in it, right? So ultimately, if you're asking my perspective, I don't give a shit what any of you think. But because this is a show where we are supposed to engage with another person's opinion and what they think, I still would actually like to understand the reasoning as to how somebody can come to such absurd conclusions about things that I clearly know that they don't believe.
I have mommy issues.
Hang on. Within a series of quick questions, we can make a determination they clearly don't believe it. The same way you can if somebody says, oh, I hold the opinion Santa Claus kisses mommy every year at Christmas. You could say, okay, but I can demonstrate that you're holding a false belief, even if it's your opinion that it's true. Even if it's an opinion, hang on, even if the opinion is factual to you, it doesn't mean that it's true. So saying something like, oh, I would rate myself at 40 to be more good-looking based on my genes than not. That's my opinion. And so therefore you can't refute it. But you can actually refute these things if you give some other commonality that a person agrees to. They start to question their opinion. That's the whole point of it.
I get it. So my question is, you have a problem with someone who's trying to argue that to them at 40 they'll feel like they will look better. So you have a problem with someone that kind of doesn't go with the reality that we perceive.
Only if it's inconsistent. Perhaps it could be possible. It could be possible, for instance, that somebody could give a really good reasoned answer. That is, it's reasoned out well and it's argued well as to why they think that 45-year-old women are generally more attractive than 25-year-old women, for instance. I would be willing to listen and engage in the argument and have my mind changed about it. But that's not what happens. What happens instead is obfuscation, bullshit, lies, and everything in the world to try to avoid answering the thing which is obvious to everybody. So here's what I think. I'm going to tell you my opinion. My opinion.
Is it an opinion or a belief?
This is my opinion.
Okay,
it's just my opinion, so you have to hold it as being valid, right? Because it's just my opinion. All of the women in the room who said they were 10s are lying. That's my opinion.
There was only one.
So one more question. Without us talking in like huge generalities, if someone was like extremely, I don't know, overweight or something in all through their 20s or 30s that you would perceive as non-attractive, and then they lose all the weight and then they get in shape and then they look great, and to you obviously they're going to be more attractive. So in that case you would agree, right? That
Sure. So I would always I never put anything in a monolith. I would never say all anything. So I would never, for instance, say that just because on average there are women who are almost no women in their 40s are going to be more attractive than their 20-year-old self. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't say that there wouldn't be some who could be, because obviously there could.
But that's based on your own attraction values, though. It's not based on
But so here's the thing. I hold a different belief. I think that there are universal metrics for attraction. And the reason that I believe that this must be true is because cross-culturally, almost in every culture, when we look at historical beauty standards even, there's remarkable similarities when it comes to the picturesque of a woman that men go for and for the types of men that women go for. Most of the statues that we see that are showing enlightened men, for instance, they're somewhat muscular, they're tall, this kind of thing. It seems that the attractiveness, the universal metrics for this don't really change that much. I do think that culturally there's going to be some relativism when it comes to some things. For instance, perhaps there's a culture where women wear rings around their neck and it stretches their neck. And so if you see women who don't have that, it might seem odd to you. It might not seem like that's an attractive feature. Whereas I think you would still find hip ratio to breast ratio to still be attractive and this kind of thing. I do think that there are some universalities, because otherwise how would you know what is or is not a healthy female to breed with? How would you know that?
So to you, so what if in like 10 years there's something that reverses the way you look? So is this question going to be relevant to you? So is there more to it, or is it just based on? Because I think
so if there was a magic, let's say there was a magic pill, or not a scientific pill, which reversed the aging process, well then what would happen then is we would still be correct, because what women would be doing is reversing their 40-year-old age to their 20-year-old age because that's more attractive.
But do you think then? But
that's
do
the
you
whole
think?
point, right?
No. I know. I'm saying, do you think, for example, if there's a woman in her 50s and then there's a woman in her 20s, and you can't really tell physically how they look, would you choose someone in their 20s that's less experienced, or someone in their 50s, but like the face, the wrinkles, physically they kind of look
To
similar?
date, or who's more attractive?
Attractive. Like, so does personality, maybe someone with more experience or wisdom, does that play part, or is it only based on, like, you can't tell a difference? Who
Yeah,
would you date?
so you can ask the same question a different way, and you would end up with the same exact answer. You could say, okay, if you had two 20-year-old women and you couldn't tell that, or you had a 25-year-old woman and you had a 20-year-old woman, or a 21-year-old woman and a 27-year-old woman, and they looked like they were the same age, would you choose based on personality traits if they were almost equally attractive? Yeah, sure, of course, that would come into it. But that really doesn't have anything to do with whether or not the attractiveness traits themselves were there.
I think
So
I was making a question because I've heard some arguments in the past that some guys go for younger women because they feel like they are more moldable. I don't know.
Yeah, but hang on, that's a different question, and I'm happy to engage with that one too. I do think, for instance, if we were to take your comparison, there's a 45-year-old woman who took an anti-aging pill. Now she looks exactly like her 20-year-old self. And then you have a 20-year-old woman who's next to her, right? At that point, would the beauty standard be the only thing the man is going for? Right. I still think a man would often go for the 20-year-old, the one who's innately 20, right?
Why?
Because she would have less baggage.
But what if the other woman is more intellectually engaging? He enjoys more time with spending time with
I
her.
think that men care far less about female intellect
Not
than
in
you
my
think.
experience.
That's one, and then
Not in
two,
my
I think that they care the most about baggage. I think they care about baggage more than anything.
Not in my experience, but
He's
I respect
older,
your opinion.
He's an older gentleman, so I mean, he's kind of been around.
Well, I'm with an older gentleman with a 50-year-old.
Okay, that's valid. But I'm just saying, like, everyone's.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing that he really values you for your intellect, huh?
There are.
That's what he
I-
values in you, is your intelligence. Is it because he can have long,
my God.
all-night conversations with you?
Yes.
Or does he perhaps value you more because he thinks you're young and hot?
No.
No, of course not. Nah, that doesn't even come into play.
This is very.
It's
This is
because you're
such a
very
crazy
mature for
thing
your
to
age.
say.
So,
How old do you think I am? How old do you think I am? I'm
Okay.
older than you think, actually.
So someone who
Well, how old
has-
are you?
How old do you think I am?
I don't know. I would say late 20s, early 30s.
I'm 34. Yeah.
Okay, so early 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, right about there. So the thing is again, I think that now this is just a guess, just my shot in the dark, but I think that he probably values your physical attractiveness even more than he does your intellect, and I know how that sounds. It must sound awful.
No,
on the
it
other
doesn't
end,
sound awful.
but
Like,
the thing
completely,
is, I think it's actually realistic for me to point these things out because they are true.
No, I totally agree. And that's why he really looks after himself, because he realizes he doesn't want to look bad for me. So I don't disregard your opinion. If I looked different, he might not like me, but I think it's not just the look that a guy is not going to hold a woman if she's not going to be there for him intellectually and physically. I don't think there is one thing.
Let me give a little pushback here. Not so sure that what you would consider the value of intellectual is the same that I would value. So, for instance, let me ask you then specifically, when you say he values your intellect, what about you is so intellectual that should be valued?
No, I'm saying he values both. He values the fact
Yeah,
that
I know, but answer to my
I get
question.
it.
What about you is so intellectual that it should be valued?
Well, first of all, I'm not saying I'm like this crazy intellectual person, but I'm someone that he can engage on any level of conversation with.
Any level?
For him, at any level, yes.
So
But,
can he sit down and talk to you about how the carburetor is broken and ask for your advice on how he should fix it?
No. I'm saying to him, he's not the type of person that's not what interests him. I'm saying based on our
interests him?
common interests, I'm the person that can engage with him on those conversations.
Well, let's see if that's true. What are the things that interest him that that he intellectually values in you? I'm kind of curious now.
Well, we talk a lot about science. We talk a lot about metaphysical stuff. We talk a lot about psychology. We talk a lot about different places in the world and perception of different countries and how
You talk
life
about
is-
metaphysics?
Yeah, we talk a lot about spirituality and metaphysical things. We talk a lot about quantum.
Well, what
physics.
is when you classify something as being metaphysical? What does that mean?
Well, based on, like, for example, we talk a lot about whether, and it's not just with him, but, like, for example, I'm very interested.
Yeah. But what do you think metaphysical is?
Something to do with your consciousness and how it reflects into a physical world.
That's what metaphysics is?
Yeah, you can. I mean, there's so many wide array of conversations you can go about it. How whether someone has, the whole debate about consciousness, whether it's, your mind is connected to your soul, or if there is a soul, or something that's kind of beyond just everyday reality. There's a lot of things to talk about, and it just doesn't have to be. But you know what I mean? Like, there's engaging conversation.
No, I mean I'm trying to figure this out, right? So,
Yeah.
from my perspective, I'm trying to figure out these interesting intellectual conversations which can be had with you about metaphysics, and that is the thing. Those are the things which is keeping this guy interested. Not the fact that you're much younger and he likely really enjoys having physical intimacy
Well, the
with
thing
you,
is
which
that
that's just a guess.
No,
just
no,
a
no.
guess.
I will directly rebut your argument.
Okay.
Is because he can have any other. There's plenty of attractive women that are younger than me out there, and he can have them. He's a very attractive man, and he can have them. Why would he choose me? So I'm saying there has to be something more than just plain physical attractiveness to keep
How long
a
have you
relationship.
guys,
Also, why
how
would
long
he
have you guys
choose-
been dating?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know
7
because
years? Wow.
just to kind of get back into this, and we'll tie this up so that other people can get back in. But I'm not really sure because you think that metaphysics is about consciousness, and that's really weird to me. But even if we just kind of assumed that that's what it was. I don't really understand why that would be the value add.
No,
right?
I'm
Why
not
would that be
saying,
such a value add?
I'm not saying just that specifically. I'm not saying I'm this intellectual person. I'm saying stuff that he is interested in. I have the similar interests, and we can engage in conversations that we both get reward from. So if you don't have that in a relationship, it's never going to work. I don't believe
Okay.
that.
Well, then let me ask you this last question. Let us assume for a moment when you met him that half of your face was burned off and your tongue was hanging out of your mouth, but you still had the stellar personality you have today.
No, of course
You think
not.
he would have dated you?
No, I'm saying
No,
you have
I don't
to
think he
have.
would have either.
No, that's why I'm saying you have to have both. You can't have
Yeah,
one
well,
without the
I
other.
don't know. What I'm saying is that I think one is a higher priority than another.
If
That's what I'm
the-
saying.
No, because you know what? I'm not gonna look the same in 10 years or 20 years, and everybody ages. But why
And
would
he
you?
might not be there in 10 years or 20 years.
Yeah,
Right?
but everybody ages. You're not
also-
gonna stay with one person just based on their appearance when they're 35 or 25. You have to.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that.
I mean,
what
are
I'm
you
saying
with
is
your
that I
wife
think-
just-
I
are you
think that
married?
there's a hierarchy of motivational factors. And so if I had to look at the hierarchy of motivational factors, I think that a man who is at his age is going to value in a woman at your age much more the physical intimacy than he is the long walks on the beach. That's
don't
now
walk-
that's
I'm not on
just
the beach.
again, my opinion.
Can I
But
say
Are you married?
you know, I bet you if he
What's
was
your
next to you right now, he'd be like, high five. High
it's
five,
not-
right? He'd go, yeah, you're right. You're totally
No,
right,
no,
bro.
no, no. I'm saying it's not. It's not only him I've been with, so it's not just based on one relationship I've had. Are you married? What's your relationship status?
Yeah, I'm married.
Okay, so with your wife, do you just value her for her looks?
Well, she's a mother. She's the mother of my children.
Okay, so you value her more than just her looks, obviously.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So you
she's the mother
chose
of
a
my she's the
partner.
mother of my
So you
children.
chose
Her
a-
entire job and duty is to raise my genetic offspring into maturity. That's a super valuable job, right?
Yeah.
Do you have this man's children?
I want to have a child one day.
Yeah, I know, but you don't have it right now, right?
But I'm saying if you chose your wife just based on appearance, you would trust her to raise your children. So obviously there's going to be more to why you're choosing that.
Sure, there's
person.
contributing factors. I'm just saying there's a hierarchy which exists.
I told
you keep on
that
kind of
as well.
presenting
There
this.
has to
The
be
counter
two
is
things. You have to be.
hang on, chill for a second. You keep on presenting this in a kind of false straw man way, where you're saying that I'm saying it's either one or the other. I'm also agreeing with you that there's both in play. There has to be some personality to go with the beauty, ultimately for something long term. I'm not disputing that. What I'm disputing is whether or not they're equal to each other.
Well,
what I'm disputing is whether or not there isn't a hierarchy here of what it is that is valued before the other thing. And so what I'm saying is that let me put it to you a different way. I think that your man, if he had two buttons he could push and he had to push one, button one, it eliminated this great intellect. Or number two, it made you a massive burn victim who was ugly as sin. Which button do you think he would push?
That's such an irrelevant question because
Answer the question, don't obfuscate, answer.
Yeah, I agree with you, obviously.
Which button? Which button?
You gotta answer the question.
Yeah, he's not going to want me to be a burn victim, but same question to you.
Which thing does he value more?
Okay, well, let me ask you just same question to you. If you were with someone who is your wife, right? Very attractive, but she was not the personality, you wouldn't want her to raise your children. How is that not equal? You would want someone that's more attractive.
What I'm saying is that there's a hierarchical value which exists, and you just demonstrated it. You agree with me. Hang on, you agree with me.
Because
that if
I don't
you're
have
physical,
his
if you had to
children
choose,
right now.
why don't you let me answer the question you just asked?
Okay, sorry about that answer.
So, if I ask you, there's two buttons, you must push one. Or he must push one. Which one would he push? The elimination of your beauty or the elimination of the long walks on the beach and the talks about metaphysics and the higher intellect? You think he would push the button which would eliminate that rather than the physical beauty? That's showing you here that in a bifurcated, in literally two options, you think that the one that he would push must have some higher value to him than the other.
Yeah, he would definitely push the one where my beauty, for sure. And most other men that I've been with as well. I asked him that.
So that's my only point. So you're agreeing with me that there's a hierarchy of needs when it comes to this.
And I think it's more important if you're with someone and you want them to raise your children, have children with them, it's more important than the looks because the looks are going to fade very quickly.
I could agree that if you asked me the same question right now, which would be more valuable to you, your wife's physical beauty or her ability to raise your children, if I had the same case for the buttons, I would push the one which eliminated her physical beauty and kept her intellect intact to continue the raising of my genetic offspring. But your answer was different because you don't have his children. You think he values the hierarchy of your beauty first, then your intellect, and I agree.
No, I know. I was talking about when you first meet someone. When we first met, yes. And for me as well.
It feels like it's changing the goalposts a little bit.
I'm sorry if I'm not changing my opinion at all. When you first meet, when you first date, yes. But when you decide to be with someone and you decide to go further in life with them, then you choose someone not based on the looks.
Right, but if the looks don't come first, then there will be you won't even have the option.
I agree with that, but you can choose not to.
And actually, she demonstrated that with the earlier question I asked. If she was a burn victim but had her same personality, would this guy be dating her right now? Answer, no. If right now he could select between these two things, which would he pick? The beauty would be higher on the hierarchy there as well.
So one final thing from the both of you on this, because I do want to get other people in. So
I'm just saying that once again, I was arguing that it's exactly the same importance. Yeah, you meet someone and you like how they look and you like how they speak to you. For me, at least.
Well.
Why not just be a hookup? Why not he just hook up with her? If it's just about the physical appearance, he chose to be in a committed long-term relationship with her, rather than. You can hook up with somebody and they might be dumber than a box of rocks. Like, and you can still hook up with them based on the physical experience.
Actually, I want to challenge this idea that because you mentioned intellect, and then you mentioned dumber than a box of rocks. Let's bring in, because we're talking about intellect now, let's bring in personality disposition. So perhaps they're not particularly intelligent, they're dumber than a box of rocks, but they're a good person, they have good morals, they have good values, and they have a pleasant disposition and personality. Versus you can be highly intelligent and be a absolute pain in the ass to be around. You can have a negative world outlook. You could be, name any sort of negative personality trait. You can be intelligent and still have those negative personality traits. So this whole trope of like, well, my intelligence, honestly, I kind of would rather just chill with, we don't even have to talk, and I can still like you.
No, I totally
I'd rather
agree.
just watch House of the Dragon.
No, I wasn't. When I was saying that,
We don't gotta talk.
I'm not saying about intelligence. I'm saying more about personality, that you click with somebody else.
Yeah, but the capability to have a conversation, I mean, it was somewhat related to intelligence.
Yeah, but someone is one dumber than a box of rocks. When you have a life issue that everybody has, would you rather go through life and through life's issues with someone who's dumber than a box of rocks?
But this is really weird because we keep on agreeing with this point over and over, or at least I was. I mean, I keep agreeing with your point. Yes, both are important. Yes, both are important. Yes, both are important. One more time. Yes, both are important.
Equally.
But does that mean equal though? What's my argument is they're not equal. Not that they're not important, but not
That's
equal.
your argument, and my argument is that equal, and that's it.
All right,
If your argument truly was that they were equal, then when the button scenario came up, whichever one he pushed should have no value merit to him whatsoever because they're both equal.
No. It's
Sorry,
at a different
that was the last
point.
word. That was the last word. To wrap up the thing on the 10 to, I think we left off
Not with me. I didn't answer.
the 10 to 20. I think. It's definitely you.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years? You're 22 now. Do you think you'll be better looking at 32?
No.
Okay. What about you? You're 19. Do you think you'll be better looking at 29 than you are now at 19?
I do, because that's when my mom said that she peaked, and I'm like,
Okay. What about 39 compared to now?
probably not, no.
Okay. What about 39 to 29?
Like, probably 29. I feel
Okay.
like you peak in your mid-20s to early 30s. I feel
All
like
right.
that's like peak.
What about you? Better looking in 10 years?
No, but
Do you think
I
this is your peak right now at 53?
Well, I will say I'm better looking than I was 10 years ago. So I lost 130 pounds in last 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm better looking now, but I don't think I will be better looking in 10 years.
All right. And then what about you? Better looking in 10 years or better looking now at 19?
No.
Now? Okay. And then what about you? Better looking at 44 or better looking at 34 now?
I'll try to look the same. I don't know. Maybe 44 is still young to me. I think you'll start declining after that.
I love hearing about everyone's declining.
I know. I'm saying that, okay, I'm way better looking now than I was when I was 24. So I don't know.
It does.
Okay,
I live a healthy life. I try to live healthy.
Wait, so better looking.
now or in 10 years?
Can you get off your phone back there and rejoin the table kindly?
I don't.
Family
But yeah, I
emergency.
mean, of course, as you age. But I think in 10 years we'll have that pill that reverses.
I mean, there are different ways to,
Wait,
like
so-
Botox and things like that. I mean, there
Yeah,
are ways
so,
to
okay.
reverse.
Hold on.
I'm talking about
Let
naturally.
me add a qualifier, all else being equal. So if she could get Botox now and get it then,
I don't think I'll
that's
get
the
Botox.
framework.
I
Okay,
don't
well, she
think
doesn't.
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. And honestly,
yeah, I'll
a
look-
44-year-old with Botox looks like a 44-year-old with Botox.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I
She
don't think
don't
I'll
look-
do any of that.
She's not 44 who looks 34.
Amber, what's that one shot that you can get that like Miley Cyrus gets into? NAD? No, NAD.
Brian Johnson
NAD is like
reversed his age.
it's like, I don't know the, I'm not a fucking doctor.
Okay,
but
so anyways,
Yes,
That does
of course I
sound
agree
better,
with you.
so
No.
better looking at 44 or 34?
Well, 34 for now, yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
34, yes. I'm better looking
Okay.
now than...
And were you better looking at 24 than you are now at 34?
No, I'm way better looking now.
Better looking now at 34 than you were at 24?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was an interesting segment. Y'all crazy. Okay. We have vampire lore. Andrew, this question is for you. Would you rather be in the woods with a random bear who will kill you, or a random woman who 50-50 chance might claim SA against you? Also, hey, Andrew.
With a question mark.
Well, I would still prefer not to die, so I guess I would take the woman. That seems like I would have the better odds.
There you go. There you go.
I
Okay.
kill you
Simple
for arguing with her.
What?
Before I get into all the pre-show notes from everybody, anybody have, maybe you've seen the show before, you've seen clips of Andrew, clips of me, any disagreements?
I already said mine.
Any other disagreements than the disagreements we've already had? Any? Going once, going
other
twice,
than the pre-show?
going 3 times? Well, I'll just get into it in your pre-show notes if there's anything else.
Okay, not anything
Okay,
else.
all right. Let's see, Katie. Oh, nope, she was, that's a no-show. We have Mel. Okay, moving to Mel. Mel?
Yeah.
Mel? Okay, Mel. By the way, Andrew, she's Australian. Any thoughts on that?
New Zealand, you say?
Andrew has beef, I think, with Australia. I don't know.
I heard New Zealand. That's
Okay. Apparently, it doesn't exist, this place. You describe yourself as a conservative Christian woman, but a former progressive. What do you mean by that?
I went to
congratulations on your recovery, by the way.
Thank you very much. I went to a very progressive high school. It was like predominantly performing arts, and I was very conditioned into sort of the left-leaning ideology, like in every way, especially because I didn't grow up in a very politically driven household, so all of my ideas were kind of formed from high school. So pretty much for 18 years of my life, I had the same political outlook until I graduated.
Are your parents conservative?
I would say my mum is more conservative than she is progressive. Yeah, no, I would consider her a conservative.
I think I was gone when. Are your parents still together?
No.
No. Okay. Are you in touch with your dad at all, or?
No.
He there was a divorce when you were young? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. How young?
3.
All right. Okay. And so, mom, a bit more conservative than she is progressive.
Yeah, I would say she's overall conservative.
All right. And you said you're Christian. What do you have a denomination or?
I was christened or baptized as a Protestant, but my mum's side is Orthodox, so I am interested in eventually converting once I do enough research into that.
All right. Cool.
You say Eastern Orthodoxy?
Yeah.
All right. There.
I'm half Greek, so I have a sort of connection.
Is that the good half?
Yeah.
I was raised
Good
Eastern
one.
Orthodox.
You said that you've only had one long-term.
No. No. So I've talked with you before. You are cradle Orthodox. That's true. You're baptized in the church, but you said you were not actually raised with those values themselves.
My mother did not raise me with those values, but it doesn't mean that my entire family didn't have those values. I was pushed into those values, and then once I got 7, I started getting headaches, mostly because of the incense, as we've discussed, but I just rebelled because it didn't make sense.
All right, you've gotten enough attention tonight, so.
Oh, wow, thank you.
All right, you've only had one long-term relationship. You're dating for marriage.
Yes.
And you say it's unpopular at your age in Australian culture, and it
Yes.
makes it hard.
Yes.
So what is the sort of culture in Australia right now related to that?
It's very casual. I feel like you really have to really dig deep if you want to find someone that's also dating for marriage. Everyone at church, especially in the Greek Orthodox church that I have been to, I've been to a few, you won't find anyone that's under 30. Actually probably 40. That's already married.
And you're trying to date within the church, or?
I mean, that would probably be the most, I would find the most alignment, I would say. I mean, if I even tried going outside of the church or any sort of conservative realm, I would have no chance.
To clarify for you, Brian, if you're an Eastern Orthodox Christian, you cannot marry outside of Eastern Orthodox Christianity.
Yeah.
Okay, and are you trying to like? You said they're all like older men though. So would you date
but they're
them?
all like married. Yeah. I
Oh, they're
would.
already. They're all married.
Not married men, obviously.
Okay. All right. I see. Let's see. And then you said you wanted to talk on a couple of different things. There's quite a lot here. Hookup culture, the destruction of marriage, OnlyFans, pornography, dating apps, the progressive masculinization of women and the feminization of men, gender roles, abortion, incentivizing divorce for women, the unserious nature and removal of religion from marriage in today's generation. Go ahead, rapid fire this.
Damn.
Come on, Mel,
Anything
you can
specific?
do it.
We have some OF girls here. OF. Like, let's, like, hear your thoughts on OnlyFans.
On OnlyFans. I think it's very destructive to society as a whole. I mean, I don't think there's a benefit to women or men, like, no matter how you cut it, besides finance. I don't know what benefit you would be receiving as a woman for having an OnlyFans account that would improve your life.
Boom, roasted.
I can, yes.
What? Sorry, chill.
Can I say something?
No, you can't. You've already talked too much.
Oh, so now we can't talk too much.
Okay, say your thing. That's probably not going to be related, but okay, go ahead.
No, I agree. I think what's lacking is I think it's important for people to have passion in their life. And also when AI going to take over all OnlyFans, like how I think it's something that's not sustainable. So I think it's important to find something that you truly like to do because the world is changing so fast.
That's an interesting.
That was beautiful. You don't
agree with
this?
You don't think people should have some passion that they...
Just because,
I think
girls are
passion.
OF doesn't mean they have a personality
Have a
outside of it and a
passion in
passion.
No,
Of
no,
course,
no,
I think
I'm
Elle did
saying,
my hair the other day.
No, I'm saying if, for example, it is a fact that AI is men creating profiles and using AI women. So in 10 years, like it's going to be so, even 5 years, it's going to be so prevalent. How are we going to stand against perfect AI women?
Also, kind of talking about like the OF, like I feel like no hate whatsoever. You guys
No,
do
go
what
ahead.
you guys need to do, but just like I feel like from there, it's kind of giving men like an idea of like what women should be. Because then like I'm like not hating on men. That was my knuckles. Sorry,
Damn,
I
that's
do that when I get.
Should have heard her
Oh my
neck
God.
earlier.
Yeah, I can do all of them.
Okay.
But I just think like I'm like with you on this. But it's more like if you portray yourself as that online, if you are allowing men to like pay to see your body, to see yourself, to see like the like parts of yourself that only like in my opinion your partner should see, and it's just like that's kind of destroying our culture from there. It's making that normal for men to just be like, oh, I wanna jerk off, I wanna have a good time, I'm gonna go to OnlyFans, see a girl on there. And then when there's actual real women that want connections with men, that's kind of like their first thought. Not all men, just in general. It's just like, oh, like that's what I want. That's why I want a hookup culture. That's why I want this. So I feel like
Do you want to be with a man who's like that anyways? Who's expecting you to be like a fucking
I don't.
OF just whore all the time, like 100% of the
I don't.
time?
But what I'm saying is having that as an option in general, or like porn or whatever. Having that as an option in general is actually.
So you think all porn
destroying
should be abolished as well?
Yes, I do. I don't think.
Awesome. Great
About
take.
erotic
Thank
art.
you. I don't.
She's based. She's super based.
Thank you.
Well, you're making an anti-feminist argument that the anti-suffragettes used to make, actually. So
I agree. I
they
think people need to pull
considered
their head out of their
promiscuity
butt
to be a huge problem because they thought that it would destroy the quality of the men. And
it
so
doesn't. It
what used to
destroys-
happen is there was a sisterhood based around chastity. And the reason for this is because if they all held to chastity, they can have their pick of the highest quality men. And now, if every woman is competing for a smaller percentage of men, you end up with these kind of massive cultural problems, which you're seeing in front of you right now. At least that was the argument then.
I agree.
And, with the OnlyFans, it's just sad because you guys have been sold a raw deal. You have been taught that this is empowerment, and what it is the most misogynistic thing you can do.
What?
Not-
Hold on.
Because
Wait, hold on.
Because
Let me bite on that.
you're
I'll bite on this.
you are allowing men to pay you to show your body, and that is not empowerment. That is giving the man his primal desires, and really all you're getting is money for it.
And they're okay
lot
with
of
that.
Wait, how's that misogyny though?
Because it's
just
the
not-
men have the power, not the women in that
How's
situation.
that? How would that even be misogyny?
Because the men are in the power position in that situation.
Wouldn't that be, I mean, if men are in power, wouldn't that be a patriarchy?
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but why would that be misogyny?
Sorry, maybe I chose the wrong
Okay.
word. I just think you're giving your power to the men, not taking it for yourself.
It's also feeling really shitty because at least for me, I don't like posting that kind of stuff online. That's not what I am. But like, but then it's also like men are expecting that from me in a sense, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't post bikini pictures. I don't do OnlyFans. I don't do this kind of stuff. And then it just kind of like honestly, it's hurting women in general, in my opinion. Like it's like making everyone else's like their view on themselves is just like kind of degrading after a while, in my opinion, because like we're like normal, or no, I'm not gonna say normal. That was a bad choice of words, but sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. Should we ban porn? I think we should ban porn and social media, except for YouTube.
Bro, that's
and
so
my
facts.
social media accounts.
So
money.
then what about art? What about all of the
Museums.
What about
erotic
small businesses?
art?
Like, what about like?
Do you need social media for that?
Yeah, to promote your small business, 100%.
You don't need
No,
it.
but if there's-
Are you
if
just
there's
gonna stand on the
absolutely-
corner of
but
the
what if-
street and show people?
If there's
your
absolutely
artwork,
no
or-
social media, you'll find ways. You'll put
Exactly.
stuff on street corners. What did they do when we didn't have any social media in like the 50s, 60s, 70s? Like how did people?
So this is unrelated to dating.
Yeah, obviously. but
This is unrelated to dating, but I feel like ever since social media, subcultures have kind of died.
Yeah.
And also, like, there's this term called monoculture. Like, there'd be these like cultural touchstone events, but now things move so rapidly. Like, things are just gone. But like, if a major movie came out in like the 90s or early 2000s, like everybody, that was like a cultural touchstone. But now it's so fragmented with social media because now everyone has these like sub niches. Things move so rapidly. It's just totally
also kinda like the
changed. Like American Pie, that movie was a cultural touchstone. Superbad was also kind of a
Oh, I love Superman.
cultural touchstone, but
love that movie.
all those monoculture things died once social media came around. Anyways, wait, back to you. You also said that you wanted to discuss religion, marriage. From my understanding, Brian is personally against marriage and not religious. Did you want to?
Am I right about that? Are you religious? I know that you're opposed to marriage.
Well, Andrew's working on me.
Yeah.
Andrew's working on me.
Go, Andrew.
I would become. I mean, I've said this before on the show. You know, I'm taking a look at Orthodox Christianity. So I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress with Andrew here.
Everyone has to start somewhere, and just coming from a 19-year-old.
And so maybe once maybe marriage is in 100% out of the cards, if I get there. But right now it's probably out of the cards. But who knows? You never, someone could be able to convince me. But no, I'm not going to get married. Most likely. But probably, maybe, but probably not. There's a chance, but probably not. Get married. Who knows about the religion part? Andrew, can I still become an Orthodox Christian but just not get married, or am I going to get?
No, you don't. You can become an Orthodox Christian, not get married, but they're not going to be happy if you're cooming.
If I'm philandering?
If you're cooming, you can't be a coomer, bro.
Wait, I'm not a coomer, bro. Philandering?
No, I know, but you're not. But if you don't get married and you're,
having premarital sex.
If you're having carnal relations outside of marriage, then that's a no-no.
What if it's with a long-term relationship?
I just want to say this Jesse guy keeps like putting stuff on there, and I just want to say I see you. I appreciate that. I love it. It's just a lot of like good vibes from Christians talking about God and the Lord.
W. Jesse. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Okay.
So I would just say at this point, right? You're what I would consider an inquirer, right? You're just doing an inquiry. What's called an inquiry. We're not asking you to become some full-blown convert tomorrow. Nothing of the sort. Just go to the church every once in a while. Talk to the people around there. I think you'll like it, Brian.
Well, I was gonna try to go with Rachel, but it just. Do they have any like afternoon
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah, they have. I did look at the church there in Santa Barbara, and they do have actually weekday afternoon stuff. I'll be out there soon enough. I'll see if I can drag you to one.
Okay.
And we'll go to one of the easy ones, right?
All
like
right.
Vespers. It's only 20, 30 minutes in and out.
Oh, okay.
And then we go to in and out, right? That's that's pretty good.
In and out. Okay, yeah, we could do that. We'll do that. My sleep schedule right now is terrible, so.
Mine too.
I'm waking up at like.
Not denying the fact that there is like a big chance that the marriage could end in divorce. But if I'm choosing to marry someone and it's not for religious reasons, it's because I want to show them that I'm committed to them and wear something to symbolize, like a ring, to symbolize that I am going to be committed to them for the rest of my life. That shows outwardly to others that I am completely off the market, not interested. And that also shows to my partner, going through a ceremony with all of my family and friends and relatives, that I am committing my life, for better or for worse, to another person.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you couldn't do every single one of those things. But why couldn't you do every single one of those things and then not get married? So, for instance, you could have a ceremony where you committed to the person. You could wear something that showed everybody that you were committed, that would be recognizable. You could even wear a sign that says, I'm in a committed relationship.
Why do all the things and not sign the paperwork?
Why would any of those be a requisite for marriage from a secular perspective?
What about the government?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not personally saying like that I need to get married, even though I'm not religious. I'm just saying that there are thousands of millions of people that want to make that commitment to their partner and not for a religious purpose. I'm not saying that it's wrong or right to do it for a religious purpose. Obviously, whatever you believe in, your beliefs are yours, and you have every right to, believe those things. I'm just saying in general terms, like, anyone can want to get married, and it's not just because of a religious purpose. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but my counter to this is, if you could have all of the things that it is that you're after without it being marriage and you were not religious, what would actually be your incentive to get married? Because if you involve the state, then a man ups his risk significantly rather than if he does not. So from a man's perspective, if he's non-religious, why in the world would he ever want to involve the state in any sort of marriage?
What risk are you explaining that it would up, or that it would make more of a...
Well, so absent a prenup, judges are more likely to default to women when it comes to child custody. Though that is getting better, it's still the default. They're far more likely to get alimony. They're far more likely to get all sorts of payments. They're far more likely to have assets split. There's all sorts of issues which come up if they tie the knot with the state. They're really marrying the state. They're not really marrying you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand, like, your points of view. I was just saying... I wasn't trying to say that, like, I personally want to get married, even though I'm not religious. I'm just saying that everyone should have the right to make that commitment to their partner if that's what they so choose to do. Whether they do it under church or under God or under whatever religion is.
We're not talking about...
This avoids the question. The question isn't whether or not people should be able to get married if they want to.
Well,
the question is, how would you...
That's why I said what I said.
Did we just waste 5 minutes because you totally misunderstood?
I asked her.
The question is asking
what?
I asked her before I even started on my tangent at all. I
There's no... So you think the conversation is about should people have the right to get married?
No, I'm saying my reasoning for why people should still, like, why it's not a bad thing for people, and the reasons why they can, why they should, or why they would want to get married, despite not being religious.
Well, I haven't really heard any good reasons.
I said several different reasons. I said financial. I said financial, and then I said financial. I also said that it would be like a commitment greater than a girlfriend or a boyfriend that you'd want to make to somebody else in front of all of your significant others. He's saying you can do that anyways, but what's the point in doing that if you're not actually going to...
That's our point. So that's our entire point. What would be the point in doing any of that absent religion if you get all the benefits?
I'm saying everyone reserves the right to do so if they want to.
But no one said they did.
Hold on. Wait, I think I might be able to make an argument here. Wouldn't the commitment be weaker once you are married? As the woman. As the man, the commitment grows stronger. As the woman, the commitment grows weaker.
Could you explain?
Okay, so we're dating. I make $1 million a month. you make $50K a year, and eventually you actually just stop working because I'm fully providing for you. Now, if I break up with you and we're just boyfriend-girlfriend, you don't get anything. But if we're married and you are vaguely unhappy with the relationship for whatever reason, you can then end that relationship and then go on to get alimony payments. You can get half of the money that I earned during the relationship. So if I earn $10 million during the course of our marriage, excuse me, not relationship, during the course of the marriage, if I earn $10 million, you get $5 million.
I understand what you're saying.
So it would actually, I would be more, in terms of the commitment, the man is more inclined to stay committed, whereas the woman now has a financial incentive to leave the relationship because she gets paid if she ends it.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, but even
So I think it would actually.
That's
She
what
has a
prenup
huge.
says.
She has a huge financial incentive to end the relationship.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. It's super valid. I just want to counteract it just with one thing. What if the roles were reversed and the woman was the main breadwinner? Not super conservative point of view.
What does that have to do with my argument?
Because could you not do the same thing? How does that work in a marriage? I've never done much research,
so
but couldn't you gain something from
so
it
if
too?
we looked at statistics and we looked at who's the primary breadwinner in relationships.
No, I'm not saying statistically who's usually the main breadwinner. I agree that the man is.
Yes,
But if
a woman who's
could it not be the
extremely
same?
wealthy has the same financial concerns as a man. Although I would say that they're a bit lessened because one, there's a bias in the court system, and then two, men are less likely to ask to pursue alimony. Men still do, and they still can, but they're less likely to pursue alimony even if they're entitled to it.
Yeah, let's just assume that
yes.
I am
Yes,
the
it's the same risk.
Exactly. Okay, so let me just say this, just to close this off, because I don't want to keep going with it, because I understand that other people want to talk too.
Yep.
But if I am the main breadwinner with the exact same things that you said you would have in the marriage, I would still want to take that risk to show my partner that I want to be committed to them, and that is
why can't your partner show their commitment to you by saying, I don't need to get married, I love you so much, it doesn't matter who having the government involved.
Yeah, what about a commitment ceremony?
I'm not even saying that I'm planning on getting married. I'm just saying in generalized terms,
Right, but
if it's not under a church, I would, even if I was the main breadwinner and I was making all the money, I was putting myself at risk. I would still want to get married to my partner and show them that I'm committed to them for the rest of my life.
Okay.
And that's just what I would want to do. I would want to tie their name to them.
50% of your net worth right now.
No, I don't feel comfortable doing that on the internet. I would do that with you in private, but I would tell you. I just don't want to put that on the internet like that.
You're saying off camera you'll give me 50% of your net worth?
No, I'm saying I would tell you. Oh, I thought you were asking me to tell you.
I don't need to know what it is. I just want you to give it to me.
If we were married and decided to get divorced because of whatever reason it is, then I would be willing to go to court and fight for my stuff, which just as much as I would expect you to.
Let me ask you a question. Would you feel, let's say this person cheated on you, right? And you had is acrimonious the right word? Acrimony? That means conflict?
I don't know.
If you had a very acrimonious relationship, there's a lot of conflict, there's infidelity, and then the divorce occurs, would you feel better just giving a random person on the street half your worth, or that you don't know at all, or giving it to somebody who you may very well fucking hate?
Isn't it the cheater that gets in? I thought it was I don't know much about divorce and marriage because obviously I'm 22 years old.
Okay,
I'm just saying personally, even if I was the main breadwinner, whatever risk it would be, I would still prefer if I wanted to, I would still like to have, get married and show that commitment. That's just
why does it show more commitment?
I already listened to reasons why.
Okay, but if getting married kept people committed, how do you then explain the divorce rate.
Do we get a rate on how many relationships that are boyfriend girlfriend get broken up with? Like I'm sure that number is way
That's why
higher.
people get married because they want that further commitment. So that in the sense, if you get married, you want to be like, okay, this is my person forever. I want to be with you for the rest of my life, for the rest of your life. And boyfriend girlfriend is like, okay, I think I want to be with you for the rest of my life, but I actually don't. So then you break up.
Exactly, and that's why
I do have to move it on. We have Bender the Offender. I haven't seen this guy in a while. Holy shit. Bender the Offender. Okay. Lady in the back, right corner, sounds like Johnny from the movie The Room? Back right corner.
Is that the room where it's like it's like a I think I know this is. It's a, if I'm chat or whatever. I think it's a woman who is like stuck in a shed because a guy kidnapped her and she's stuck in a shed and he like, no, it's like really nice. And like he like did stuff and then she had a kid and then she had a kid. And then the kid has only known the room, which is the shed, which is called like the room. And then he comes in there. And
I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
Bender the Offender, good to see you back in the chat, man. I don't know that. I can't remember the last time I saw you. It's probably like 2 weeks ago. And I don't remember. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat, man. Let's see. We have some notes here from L. Last time I was on the show, I was housing a man who was a total narcissist asshole, but he was the reason I went celibate.
Celibate. Sorry if I
for 2.5 months afterwards. And so on June 6, 2023, you sent us a message. So I've been completely celibate since the last show. No sex, no kissing, no anything. If you'd like to have me back on to talk about my experience, I'd love to.
Yep. So, during the time of the last podcast, I think.
They said I got the movie wrong.
Oh, okay. So, during the time of the last podcast, which was like an all-girls podcast with Pearl and my other roommates at the time, these are my new roommates for my old ones, I was dating a guy. We'll just call him by his name because I'm bold like that, Dylan. And he was living with me. So originally he was like a friend of a friend, and I had seen him like less superficial than that. I would say somebody with poor communication. Like, I think that the way that you argue with your partner or someone that you're seeing says a lot about who they are in the relationship that you'll have together. So if you can't have like a mature, level-headed conversation where you're just speaking rather than yelling, I think that's a really big ick if a guy can't just have like that easy, gentle communication with me.
Okay. Alex, what about you? Biggest ick?
Well, to me, it's really when they're just all talk and just like pretenses and like promises, but no follow through whatsoever on any level.
All words, no action.
Yeah, like all words, but like not a single action.
You answered right. What about you? Biggest ick? You're about a mile away from the microphone, just let me know.
Biggest ick for me would probably be like super macho-y bravada type guys. That's an ick for me.
What do you mean? Can you explain?
Just macho, like, I don't know.
Like Johnny Bravo?
Yeah, I know. I personally, I know you said no, don't like it, but I love feminine boys. I agree. I love a feminine boy, but as long as I can also be allowed to tap into my feminine energy.
Do you think that works though?
It could. It does. It very well could. I've dated nothing but feminine guys.
So who's going to take the masculine role?
Does there have to be one?
Yeah, exactly.
You can just be nurturers towards each other. It doesn't have to be like that.
Someone has to lead. Someone has to lead.
Someone's got to lead.
That's why I said feminine. You know, there's a balance. There has to be a balance.
There's
of
a
course.
balance.
So you're both gonna do both parts.
Yeah, there's a balance, of course.
What's the
Have
point?
you guys? Oh, go ahead. You got a question
Balance.
now.
Balance, Daniel son.
Balance.
Balance. What about you, Brian? Biggest dick? What's the biggest dick, Brian?
Dick. Oh my gosh. Before I give my biggest dick, I'm just curious for the two girls here who like feminine boys. Have you all pegged a dude before? Just be honest.
No.
You don't have to lie to me.
No.
You don't need to. Don't do that. Don't lie to me. I can see it in your eyes.
No.
Are you being honest?
Yes.
I have.
You're looking me dead. Thank you for volunteering that information. I appreciate that.
Wow.
W her for just coming clean.
Well, I mean, they were like,
how many men have you pegged?
only one. But I got asked 3 times by.
He asked you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got asked by 3 different men.
Oh, damn, so you turned down, you're selective with who you peg.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You turned down 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
Only one of them deserved you to.
Oh yeah, because I'm not the biggest fan of that kind of role. I'm more of a submissive.
You have to really care about a guy to be willing to peg him.
Oh yeah.
He has to be special to you.
Oh yeah.
For you to
Very much
do those
so.
things to his anus.
Very, very
You
special.
need to have.
A very good dildo.
Oh. Whoa. Why'd you gotta take it back?
Well, you're the one who started the sentence.
I don't know, you should.
I don't think that's where he was going with that sentence.
Well, I
From
can.
Russia with love? Is that how that works? From Russia with love?
Oh yeah, a lot of love.
Man.
So much
In
love.
Soviet Russia.
In Soviet Russia, there's.
In Soviet Russia, woman fucks you.
Wow. Okay. Oh, my biggest icks. My biggest ick. She, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of something.
See, it's hard on the spot.
Biggest ick. Quarrelsome. She's quarrelsome.
What does that mean?
Argues. Argumentative.
Someone not easygoing. It's more like fight at everything.
Just, yeah, like, I would say that's a good way to frame it. Quarrelsome. Argumentative. This one's fine. Just manifests arguments out of the ether over nothing.
It's just annoying. It's just like, how do you live like that?
I dated a girl once, and she got mad that I dated a girl before I even knew who she was. She was like, I'm upset that you dated her. I'm like, I didn't even know you then. And she's like, she didn't even know the chick. She was just like, how could you cheated on me before I fucking met you?
So was she the kind of person that if she had a dream about you cheating, like she'd get
I've had
really
multiple girls dream about me cheating, and then they blame me for the cheating on them in the dream.
What do you do with that situation? Do you apologize? Do you just be like, that wasn't, like, that's you? No, what do you, like,
apparently
no,
he
like,
broke up.
Like, what do I do,
Yeah.
or what should a guy do?
what did you, like, in general? Both. I'm just like, that's insane. I don't understand.
I don't know about y'all, but it's like, what?
She put my cup back. Is this one there?
Yes.
Okay.
What do I do? I mean, so if it's like bogus, I just walk away. I'm like,
Grabs the virgin.
Got a blast.
dip it.
So you just
Okay.
ghost them.
Huh?
So you just ghost them, like you just.
Well,
you-
I guess it depends on the context. Like, I might politely tell her to shut up. I'm kidding.
politely shut.
I'd just be like, oh yeah, well, you cheated on me in my dream last night.
So you turn the tables.
Now what?
Now what? Now what? And it was a threesome. And it was a bukkake. So who's really the worst offender here?
Oh, 100%
Yes. So I just flip it on her.
Perfect.
I'm just like, yeah. I don't think that's what I actually did though in this situation. I don't know. I was just like,
Is the dream?
I was like, oh cool. I like fucked up a shark in my dream yesterday. I don't know. What does that mean? Like literally, I was in the ocean and I fought a shark. Like I fucked him up.
So you didn't go on the boat with the 2 men?
I didn't need rescuing. I just fucking knocked the. I slapped the
Do you
shark.
have a recording of that?
Oh, okay, so you didn't fuck the shark, you fucked it up.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, I completely misheard it. I'm so sorry.
No, that was the girl from last week who was with dolphins.
Oh yeah.
No, literally, we had a girl.
I saw the title. I thought it was.
I don't think I think she has romantic feelings towards dolphins, but I don't think she's had carnal knowledge of a dolphin. But we did have a dolphin communicator on the show. Was it Tuesday? last week? Morgan? Right, Morgan? Yeah, Morgan knows.
Well, they're really sexual.
She could talk to
creatures.
all of us. What the fuck? Okay, anyways, moving on. Biggest dick?
The actual dolphins.
Biggest ick. Damn.
Didn't you say people picking arguments for some reason? Wasn't that your...
Oh, quarrelsome? Wait, no.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
I wasn't even
I don't know if that's my
down
biggest
with
ick,
it.
though.
Well, I didn't say my biggest. He's just like picking.
Yeah.
Like one of the top 3.
Yeah, because there would be several.
Well, that's not. I think anyone can do that, not just a partner. I just hate the sound of chewing or any repetitive noise, to be honest.
Chewing.
Going to you, Alex. You in your pre-show notes, you said
You didn't, hang on. You didn't actually answer, Brian, the biggest ick question.
Yeah.
the quarrelsome.
Kind of avoided the question there.
Well, the quarrelsome women.
Oh, okay. That's the biggest ick.
Yeah, like an argumentative woman
Over
that just
nothing.
wants to argue for
Oh,
no reason.
Andrew, your biggest dick?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I have a list a mile long. You want to hear them all? Okay, let's start with women who say woman instead of women because they're stupid. That's one of my biggest dicks. Let's move over to when women bother you when you're in the middle of doing something that's actually important and a bunch of endless prattle about personal bullshit that I don't care about. That would be 2. Let's move over from there to women who have vocal fries and say like every other word. The vocal fry, along with makes me want to grab the closest dagger and begin to gouge myself in the face with it. That's what I consider icks. But I have so many. Would you like me to keep going?
No, I think that's
That's one of the
Yeah, I think that's
reasons why I can't watch reality TV sometimes. They just say they just say like over and over again.
So they say like, what's the one? And they just go off on a completely different tangent. And you're just like, why?
I can, maybe I'll add one. If they talk poorly about people not in their presence, that's an ick.
Oh,
That's bad. I don't like that in anybody.
yeah.
So.
That's just bad morals.
Yeah, that's just a bad
Anyways,
character.
going to Alex, you said that. Why do the
Wait, why did these 2 girls, didn't both of you just name exes that she didn't like? And they're not here to defend themselves?
Who, me? Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, we both did. Yeah, 100%. But they.
Yeah.
Are you gonna defend a person that was taking pictures of someone that's? I'm not gonna.
Well, I don't know. First of all, I'm not just going to take people's. I'm not going to just take people's words for anything. I'm not familiar with the situation, but that was a
dating show.
really
They
big
asked
way
for our craziest dating experience.
But that was a way for you to obfuscate away from the fact that Brian said when people are running other people down when they're not present, you were like, yeah, I don't like, and then you just did it, right?
He asked us for our craziest dating story. That's our craziest dating story. It's a question that we were asked on the show.
You did engage in that. I'm just pointing that out. That's all I'm saying.
And if we don't engage in it, then we get asked to engage more and more and more. So of course he asked for our experiences.
Well, I mean, did the experience require you to name the person?
No, but
No. But you want to make damn sure that you name the person.
But also, I didn't give like a full government. I didn't give a full government or an ad or anything like that.
Yeah, but you could have had like an obscure. You could have told the craziest dating story, kept him totally anonymous, but instead you chose to name him so that you could run him down while he wasn't here to defend himself on a large platform.
And the way he would defend himself is by punching me in the ribs. So
He's literally in jail right now, isn't he? He can't.
yeah.
Well, I'm just pointing it out. That's
I mean,
all.
don't ask questions about my dating life if you don't want me to explain the answers to the questions. You know what I'm saying? Like Brian wasn't mad about it.
word?
Well, I'm not mad about anything. I'm just